Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Gwei Refuel, where I recap the latest news in the Ethereum ecosystem. I'm your host, Anthony Sassano, and today's the 7th of July, 2021. Alright everyone, let's get into it. So, I've been talking about the Beacon book a lot lately on the Refuel, and yesterday, I think just before I published the Refuel video, so I had already recorded it, Stateful Works put out the entire Beacon book on Mirror here. So you can actually read the entire book here. It's quite long. I did mention that the book is going to be released in a limited edition. 100 printed Genesis editions are going to be coming out soon. They will be sold via an auction soon. But if you want to kind of get involved already, you can mint a bunch of NFTs. So there's 7 different NFTs here that you can mint. All you have to do is obviously sign in with your Ethereum wallet, click collect NFT, and you can mint them. Now, they range in price, and unfortunately for you guys, I did shield this on Twitter, but unfortunately, if you wanted to get any of the limited ones, they are sold out. I sniped these immediately. Like, I got so excited. I'm just like, yep, I'm going to have this one and then the other ones. And I ended up buying all of them, of course, but I think the super limited edition ones, that was the 10 of 10. This is 20 of 20, 40 of 40, and then there's a bunch around here. These are still available, so 64 of 100, and then there's a bunch here. I like the way they did this because I think it gives everyone a kind of opportunity to own one of these NFTs, right? Where you have obviously the super limited edition ones, and then you have the ones like that have 1,000 editions or 1,000 NFTs available to be sold. So I think most people can get one if they want it here. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely go check out these NFTs. But also you can read the whole Beacon book, which for those of you who don't know is basically a book that interview the creators. One of them is a good friend of mine, Trent Van Epps, interviewed a bunch of different people that I think it was 46 people 46 researchers and implementers that worked on the Beacon chain, the ETH2 Beacon chain that we all know and love, and kind of gave their side of the story here. And yeah, that's why it's such a long read. There's a lot to read through. So definitely go check that out and mint some NFTs if you haven't already. There's still some available. So Arthur 0x put out this tweet today that inspired a newsletter that I wrote. You can go check out in the Daily Gwei newsletter. But he basically said, fundamentals do matter. And this is a screenshot of Axie Infinity's fully diluted market cap versus its total revenue over the last 30 days. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Axie Infinity on Twitter recently. There's been a lot of chatter about it. Of course, because the price of the AXX token has been going up, but also because just generally people realized, wow, Axie Infinity actually makes a lot of revenue. And it does because of the fact that it takes fees from marketplace fees and breeding fees. Now, for those of you who don't know what Axie Infinity is, it's basically a pet battler. Basically, like you could say it's like something like Pokemon, right? Where you have these things called Axies and you go and battle them, and there's like a whole world to this. There's not just that aspect. There's like people can buy land and things like that as well, and you can breed Axies, of course, and create new ones and things and that sort of stuff. So the Axie Infinity platform takes fees from this. Now, Axie Infinity used to be on Ethereum. Now it's on a side chain called Ronin, which has actually been very good for them because a lot of Axie Infinity players are actually definitely from, I guess, like developing countries, and they definitely cannot afford Ethereum's gas fees. I'm pretty sure the minimum wage in some of these countries is less than the fees would be to basically play this game on Ethereum, and not even play it heavily, like play it lightly, whereas, to trade some kind of like items or to trade some Axies. So obviously they need to go to a side chain to do that, and since then, the game popularity has obviously exploded. A lot more people can access it, and the revenue has exploded with it. So you can see here, the revenue in June, actually I saw a stat, the revenue in June was $11 million, and the revenue in the first 7 days or 6 days of July was $12 million. So that's just absolutely insane growth and really does explain the price rise of AXX recently. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about Arthur's comment here about fundamentals do matter. Now, this is a really kind of like deep rabbit hole, so I won't go too much into it. And I've spoken about fundamentals plenty of times on the Refuel before, but I think that in the long run, I always truly believe that fundamentals do matter. And in saying that, I actually think memes are part of fundamentals. You might be saying, Dogecoin's been around for so long, Dogecoin has no fundamentals, and it's number 7. And whether you like it or not, memes are fundamentals, so that means Dogecoin has fundamentals, in my view anyway, because if you look at some of the most successful projects, or at least the ones that are most well-known, they all have memes, right? Like, think about BitConnect, an actual scam. Like, I'm not going to say that BitConnect wasn't a scam, it was, right? But think about it. Everyone knows it because of the meme, because of Carlos Matos, basically singing or like kind of hyping it up at that conference in New York. I think it was in New York. No, maybe he was from New York and it was somewhere else. But anyway, It doesn't matter. So when you think about it, the way to kind of disseminate information, the fastest way to disseminate information, and I guess like the most well-known projects in this space are the ones that have the best memes. And that's why you see like different projects trying to push different memes. That's why for Bitcoin, digital gold was memed. I think that was like a huge thing. And there's a bunch of different memes within Bitcoin. Like everyone knows the HODL meme. I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty out there, and Ethereum has its own memes as well. Maybe not as big, but definitely has a lot of its own memes. And same goes for basically everything in crypto. And if you don't have good memes, it means, in my view, it means your marketing is pretty crappy at the end of the day. It means that you haven't really incorporated meme culture into your marketing strategy, and your project is just really not going to be on anyone's radar for better or worse, right? Like you can argue that, oh well, memes are a joke, everything's a joke. That's not a fundamental. That's just a piss take, if you want to kind of call it that. And I'm like, I can agree with you to an extent, but at the same time, I think memes are just like a marketing vehicle at the end of the day. It's a way for people to kind of, I guess, like come together as well as a community, and kind of like have like this shared, meme culture or amusement from these sorts of things. So that's what I consider fundamentals as well. But I also think that fundamentals include everything else, right? Like the revenue being generated by the protocol, the growth prospects of the protocol, like how long it's been around for counts for a lot. Like, has it been growing steadily? What are the competitors? I mean, there's tons of things to think about, right? Does the token actually capture the value of the protocol in any given way? And even that sometimes doesn't matter, because it's funny. If you look at Uniswap, obviously, like the Uni token doesn't actually capture any value right now, but the Uni token, I think, is the most valuable DeFi token still, and Uniswap is the most used DEX by volume by far, as measured by volume by far. So with Uniswap, it's like, okay, well, the token's not going to give you any kind of like, revenue. You can't stake it and earn a percentage of the fees or whatever. But you do know that Uniswap's growth prospects are massive. You do know Uniswap dominates in the decentralized exchange space, and Uniswap has amazing memes and an amazing awareness across the entire ecosystem. So, you have to kind of look at fundamentals as a broad strokes thing. You can't just look at them in a vacuum and say, oh, this project has a good tokenomics, because they let you kind of stake your tokens and earn a yield. This project doesn't let you do that, so I think this project is better. That is not the way that things should be measured in my mind. I think you should look at the kind of broad strokes fundamentals of all these projects and take it together. And same applies to something like Axie Infinity. I'm here saying that this revenue is impressive, but like you have to dig into it. You have to be like, okay, what is this revenue used for? Where is it going? Is it going to actually be spent on things that improve the fundamentals of Axie Infinity, or is it just going to sit in the treasury and the DAO is going to hold on to it like a dragon, essentially? So there's a lot of those different things to consider, but I do agree with Arthur that fundamentals definitely matter over the long term. Just short term, during bull markets, bull manias, you're going to get lots of noise. You're going to get a lot of projects that pump and dump. Like, I mean, if you look at some of the projects out there, they are down like 90% plus from their highs. Like these quote unquote DeFi projects, not all of them are actually DeFi. They're pretty much like centralized either scams or rug pulls or whatever, but they pumped up a lot during the mania. So when you are a fundamentals based investor, you have to take the long view always. You can't take the short view. If you're taking the short view, then you are in my mind a trader. I don't believe that you're an investor if you're taking the short view, but that your strategy might be different to mine. Obviously I'm a long-term guy, but if you're going to play the markets through short term, I just don't think you can play that based on fundamentals, because fundamentals do take a longer period of time to play out for a number of reasons. And I think the biggest reason is that the market needs to mature and understand the value of these kind of tokens and specific things, and just generally the awareness as well. I mean, I think Axie Infinity was slept on for quite a while by many participants in the ecosystem. And now that they've gotten kind of like traction, and the price has gone up a little bit, it's kind of like a flywheel effect where the price goes up, more people get interested in Axie, more people play it, more revenue is generated, so the token goes up because of those stats, and then you have this kind of nice little loop going on. So that also counts a lot as well. But yeah, great to see kind of growth in something that's not DeFi for once as well. Obviously DeFi is dominated, but Axie Infinity is definitely not DeFi. It is a purely NFT kind of a category there with blockchain gaming kind of mixed in as well. So I'm excited to see how they go here. I hope, I remember them saying that they were transitioning to the Ronin sidechain as like a stopgap until the layer 2s were more kind of mature and available for them. So I'm hoping to see them migrate to a proper layer 2 secured by Ethereum eventually, obviously because that's, in my mind, I believe that is the better path forward. But at the same time, I actually don't think a sidechain is a bad thing for something like a blockchain game. I actually think that if anything was going to use a sidechain, it should be a blockchain game at the end of the day. And depending on what you put on chain and stuff, it will differ. But at the end of the day, I do think that the sidechains and these sorts of things are just like short to medium term. Long term, of course, is going to be layer 2s like roll-ups and things like that. So yeah, just wanted to give a quick overview of that. And, you know, if any of you are playing this, definitely jump into the Discord channel and let us know what you think of it, what you're doing. I haven't had a chance to play too much of it. I checked the Axie Infinity out ages ago, actually. Unfortunately, I didn't buy any Axies or land and whatever. I didn't buy any AXX tokens. I was one of those people who are just like, yeah, I don't know about this, and just never did my research on it. Like, I figured it would just stay like a small niche thing, but it's actually grown so much. And for those who don't know, there are actually people in the Philippines that making a living wage off of Axie Infinity by playing the game, grinding out, farming these things called smooth love potions, which are used for breeding, I believe, and then selling them on the open market. The market cap of those things is like $100 million or something right now. And then you know, they also kind of, I guess, like breed Axies and stuff like that too. So pretty crazy stuff going on. This new play to earn arena within, I guess, blockchain gaming. I think it's really cool. I'll be keeping an eye on it, keeping you guys updated. So the Index Co-op announced today that they have completed a $7.7 million treasury diversification. So you can see here that a bunch of different investment firms have bought into, into the Index Co-op tokens or the Index tokens. These investors include Galaxy Digital, 1KX, One Confirmation, Wintermute, Defiance Capital, Laconia. I can't read those two. I think it's LD Capital and Assembly Capital. Okay, yeah. So $7.7 million has gone directly into the Index Co-op treasury, which I think is really, really awesome. When you kind of think about this sort of stuff and think about these treasuries that the projects have, I think it's better to sell to these, like if you start off as a DAO, it's better to sell to these firms from the treasury than it is to sell from, say, like, before the token's live or anything like that, because then you have, like, I think a better alignment of incentives. And obviously you want to put like lockups on and stuff on this. And sometimes these kind of people will get a discount on the price or whatever. But what actually, in saying that, I've actually got the details here of this. Let me bring it up. I have it on another kind of tab here. So you can see the details here actually of the sale. So I was looking for this because I was like, I'm an advisor to Seth who is very heavily involved in the Index Co-op, but I still wanted to know kind of what the deal was. So the sale price was actually $24.26 per Index token. Now, I don't know how closely you guys pay attention to the price of Index. I do, because I have a bag of Index tokens. I should disclose that, of course. But that was basically the market price until this announcement was made. Now that this, the announcement was made, the price went up, of course, because people were like, oh, wow, what's Index Co-op, right? I'm going to buy some of these tokens. But, this was amazing. Like, I figured that maybe they got a discount on kind of like their token price or whatever, because they were obviously buying a bulk amount of it and things like that. But no, they got $24.26 as the price. And the terms are also pretty good, I believe. And there's an 18-month total lockup with 12-month lock and 6-month linear vest, which I think is pretty cool. So that means that they get no tokens for 12 months. And then they vest linearly over 6 months, so on a block-by-block kind of basis there. So I think that's really, really cool. I hope to see more kind of DAOs doing this, because I've seen DAOs in the past doing these kind of treasury diversifications, but actually giving steep discounts with no lockups to these firms, especially selling like OTC and stuff like that. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of that going on. And what ends up happening is that the firm or the investment firm, the VC, the fund or whatever, will typically dump some or all of it after they've gotten it, because it's free money at the end of the day for them. And there are some out there that are more kind of like a bigger offenders than others, but I generally steer clear of those sort of projects that do that, because if you have these big kind of like investors that got in at a discount, don't have any lockups, well, what's to stop them from dumping, dumping on our heads, right? Whereas with something like this Index Co-op diversification, as I said, the terms are much, much better. And it's basically like a I guess you could say a traditional kind of raise, which is awesome. So the Index Co-op now has $7.7 million in their treasury that is not index tokens, because a lot of it is index tokens, and that funds them, for the foreseeable future, which I thought was really, really cool to see. So zkSync announced yesterday, I think, that on July 14th, they are upgrading their smart contracts and servers to support zkSync 1.x, which comes with a bunch of features including swaps, NFTs, a new event system, and permissionless token listing. So zkSync mainnet will be down for 2 to 3 hours during this upgrade, and if you don't want to be part of this upgrade, you can actually withdraw your funds to opt out, which I thought was a really cool thing that they kind of noted there. I think that's important because, as I've said to you guys before, there's a lot of layer 2s coming that are pretty much all going to be centralized from the get-go. They're going to have admin keys. They're going to be upgradable so that those admins can upgrade the smart contracts for various different reasons, whether that's adding new features or whatever, or anything like that. But, you just have to be aware of that. And, I'm really excited for this upgrade, actually. Like, what they're promising is swaps. Like, that's one thing that kind of frustrated me about zkSync with Gitcoin, is that I'd have to withdraw my funds out of zkSync to my Ethereum wallet and then go trade on layer 1 to my layer 1 wallet, and then go trade on layer 1 in order to kind of buy ETH with those assets, like with those stable coins. So with the swaps feature, I'll be able to just do that on zkSync without incurring those higher gas fees of layer 1 and having to wait for the withdrawal to go through as well, which is quite frustrating. So that's really awesome. NFT support. I mean, I was just talking about how I think Axie Infinity will wait for the layer 2 ecosystem to mature around NFTs before they kind of go there. So that's really cool. A new event system that's got to do with, I guess, like for smart contract devs, I believe, and a permissionless token listing system, which means that obviously anyone can list a token to be part of the zkSync kind of ecosystem there. So really, really awesome. And, you all know, I've spoken about it many times on the Refuel. zkSync 2.0 is coming soon. That's going to include a fully EVM compatible rollup, ZK rollup, which I guess is just very, very hype at the end of the day, right? Like, I've spoken about it too many times. I'm not going to go over it now, but this is one step on that journey, which I think is really, really cool. So awesome to see this. As I said, you can withdraw your funds if you don't want to be part of this upgrade. But, I guess the only reason why you wouldn't want to be part of this upgrade maybe is because you think there might be a security issue, or you don't trust the team or something like that. I guess, whatever. You shouldn't have to trust anyone in this space. I'm glad they've given people the heads up here. So big news. I saw this posted on the GitHub last night, on the Ethereum GitHub, where basically Tim Beiko posted that the London network upgrade, EIP-1559, has been proposed to go live on the Ethereum mainnet on the 4th of August 2021 at block number 12,965,000. I've been saying this on the Refuel for weeks now, right? Where I basically said that we could expect the 1559 to go live, or London to go live on the 4th of August on mainnet. Or if not, it would be the 11th of August. Now, Tim is pretty confident about it being the 4th of August. We're going to get a final decision made at the core dev meeting on Friday. That hasn't changed just yet. But this is awesome. I mean, how close are we? Like, we're going to get a mainnet date, and then it's locked in, and barring any kind of critical issues happening with 1559 on the test nets, it will go in on that date, and then we will unlock Ethereum's scarcity engine, and we will start burning that ETH, but we will also massively improve the user experience on layer 1 with gas fees and things like that, and work to like level out those fees and a bunch of other features that I've spoken about before. So I'm super pumped for this. Like, absolutely think this is going to be a monumental event. And also, today, I believe, or maybe today or tomorrow, the Rinkeby testnet is forking to London. So that's the final one. I mean, if that goes all well, and basically, we hit that, we test that out, everything goes super well, then the 4th of August, in my mind, is 100%. I just don't foresee it having to be delayed there. But still, I'm not going to say it's 100% just yet. We'll wait till Friday, till the core dev meeting, and we'll see what they say. But Tim mentioned that he already has kind of like sign off from a few of the client teams saying, yep, they're confident that they'll hit the 4th of August kind of date, and that's a fine date there. So Just for context, that is about a little bit less than a month away from now. So very, very close. I can't believe how long I've spoken about 1559 for, and the fact that it's just almost here. I mean, I'm really giddy about it. And we're probably going to do a live stream. By we, I mean like Eric Connor, co-founder of ETHUB with me. We were discussing it with David Hoffman today. We might do something with Bankless, so like a 1559 live stream for the hard fork that goes through. So definitely there'll be more details about that coming out in the near future. And would love for you all to join us on that one. But yeah, I'm so happy about this right now. It's coming, guys. I know I've said it for so long, but it's almost here. So DiversiFi had put out a tweet before that they have launched their brand new platform. So you can check this out at app.diversifi.com. Recap just for everyone listening and watching. DiversiFi is a layer 2 decentralized exchange, and it's going to evolve into a bigger DeFi ecosystem here. So they've updated their swap interface, which I think looks pretty cool. You've got the familiar swap interface on the left, and then you have a nice little price chart on the right, and then you got your usual kind of like stats underneath it there. So looking good there, and there's a bunch of other kind of features as well. There's a portfolio summary, so a portfolio overview. There is a kind of like that. I guess like they got rid of tabs here, they're saying, and that you can basically hit deposit, send, swap, and withdraw in the same kind of, I guess, portfolio view. Bunch of other features here. As I said, the swap interface, more information in wallets and things like that. So yeah, if you're a DiversiFi user, you've probably seen this already. If not, you should jump onto DiversiFi, check it out. I think it's one of the better layer 2 kind of ecosystems out there. Definitely really bullish on them, and I'm glad to see them kind of like improving the user interface here. So the Ethernaut on Twitter here has actually been doing a bit of, I guess, recruitment for developers and kind of like, I guess, helping developers get started within the Ethereum ecosystem. And now I believe that he's turning this into a DAO. So the Ethernaut DAO. So if you're interested in being part of, I guess, like a developer-focused DAO, that, either you want to learn how to be a developer or you want to teach other developers, definitely go check this out. All you have to do is join this Discord channel here, and you can basically be part of this new DAO. And I've spoken about DAOs a lot lately on the Refuel. I think if you're a developer, this is the perfect DAO for you to get involved with, because the Ethernaut is actually a core contributor at Synthetix. He's been around for quite a while. He knows what he's doing, and I think that there isn't anything like this just yet. I spoke about Austin Griffiths' build guild that he kind of like has been doing, and he wanted to kind of turn into a DAO. I think that's the closest that you could kind of say to this, but the more the merrier. Like, we don't want just one, we want as many DAOs as we can get. We want people coordinating. We want more and more devs in this ecosystem. So yeah, if you're one of those, definitely go join the Ethernaut DAO. You can probably become a founding member. That'd be really cool, right? So yeah, this link will be in the YouTube description for you all to check out. So Loopring has introduced a Dapp browser, so in their smart wallet. So essentially, you can go into the smart wallet and you'll see all your favorite Dapps here, which I think is really cool. It's funny. I don't know how they're doing it. They must be doing it to get around the rules. But with the App Store rules, you can't actually. A lot of the mobile wallets had to get rid of the Dapp browser. Now, I believe that was because Apple couldn't take a cut of the kind of funds going through. Like, if you're in a Dapp, Apple obviously couldn't sit in the middle and take a cut from that because it's not going through the Apple kind of like payment system. So I think these might just be kind of like, I guess, bookmarks that go to the Dapp, which I think is really cool. I haven't checked it out myself yet, but still, this is awesome. I mean, we obviously, when people download these kind of wallets, we can't just throw them up a Dapp browser and say, hey, go, find whatever, because there's no Google for Dapps yet, right? There's no kind of like central place, I don't think. Not from what I've seen. I think there were some early attempts at that, but there's nothing kind of like concrete on that yet. So definitely need something like this where people can kind of say, okay, well, these are the Dapps I can use, and a short description about what it is, and then they can go find these kind of things and play with them using their Loopring smart wallet. So yeah, definitely go check this out. Obviously, I've spoken about Loopring a lot in the past on the Refuel. You guys know all about Looprings, layer 2 ecosystem, and how bullish I am on them. So yeah, definitely go check this out. So Synthetix put out a brief update yesterday. So fees are now being enforced on the optimistic Ethereum mainnet. So that I've spoken about this before, where I've said that layer twos aren't going to be free. It's not going to be zero fees. It actually can't be zero fees for two reasons. One, it needs some kind of Sybil resistance, so that or DDoS attack resistance, I should say. Sorry, where if you had zero fees, then someone could just keep spamming the network with as many transactions as they wanted, and it will cost them nothing to do that. And that obviously would kind of like not be good for anyone. And two, these layer twos still need to pay for layer one security. Now, a lot of them will subsidize it for quite a while, but eventually they're going to have to start collecting fees to kind of pay those layer one fees as well. So kind of like, I guess, get the aggregate fees from everyone on layer two and like post their proofs to Ethereum layer one and all that good stuff there. So that's what's been happening now with optimistic Ethereum. And I think this is just like another step on the way to Optimism launching quite soon. I mean, I've spoken about Arbitrum, and I said I felt like Arbitrum would launch end of June, early July. I think we're getting into mid-July now, and we're definitely, with Optimism saying they're going to go live in July as well. I just want to see them deliver. Like, come on, guys. Like, I know Arbitrum didn't give a date for their public mainnet. They gave I think they at most gave like a window, but Optimism did say July. So I'm just hoping that they both go live in July. It's not, obviously, with gas fees being lower, it's not like super, super urgent. But at the same time, I think the longer we wait, the less people, the less interested people get. And, the more I sound like a broken record. So help me out, guys. Please, definitely, launch these things in July. Let's get layer 2 summer going. Let's do it before summer runs out in the Northern Hemisphere, because, maybe they're psyopsing us and it will actually be layer 2 summer in the Southern Hemisphere in the start of November. So, I'll get to enjoy layer 2 in my summer. But yeah, let's get this done. I hold out faith here. I think all the pieces are in place for Arbitrum and Optimism. I mean, I don't see them doing any kind of major delays here. I feel like they're just dotting the I's, crossing the T's at this point in time. Especially Arbitrum. I mean, I showed the token listing yesterday. All the major apps that you need to launch are on there. I said that there was some critical infrastructure that needed to go live. I mean, I've been showing that for weeks now, or months now, Infura, Alchemy, Etherscan implementations, all that sort of stuff. That's all done. Chainlink, of course, as well. As far as I know, that's all ready to go. So I'd be surprised if Arbitrum at least doesn't launch within the next couple of weeks. Let's put it that way. So I'm hoping to see that. And I'm hoping Optimism launches as well, because I don't want just Arbitrum launching. I want both of them launching, because competition is better for everyone. And I want people to be able to kind of experience both of them. Yes, they're both optimistic rollups, but there are differences between the two. And there are going to be different apps. Like Synthetix isn't going to be on Arbitrum. It's going to be on optimistic Ethereum, right? Uniswap's going to be on both, which is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Like, which one's going to get the most liquidity? Which one's going to get the most volume? TVL, all that good stuff. So we're going to definitely learn about that in the next few weeks, hopefully. But anyway, I think that's it for today's episode. So thank you everyone for listening and watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Give that video a thumbs up, subscribe to the newsletter, join the Discord channel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thanks everyone.